The circled part, that is the total.
I see. Were you reimbursed for any of these medical bills?
No, I was not.
You have one for $685 and one for $453 and one for $233. You have lost wages of approximately $2,800 from the two jobs that you had. Let me tell you this, Mr. Brown. Your answer seems to suggest, and I'm looking at the photographs now, your answer seems to suggest that you believe that you're only responsible for her actual out-of-pocket expenses, which in and of themselves come very close to the legal limit for this court, which is $5,000. But you are really responsible for more, because if I were to ask Ms. DaCosta about how she felt when her nose was broken and then having to have it reset, there was probably a lot of pain and suffering that she went through because of your misadventure, really your negligence. You seem anxious to say something. Who are you?
I'm his wife, Kelly Brown.
Well, come on up here. You think you have something important to tell me?
I don't understand why she went through so much pain and suffering if she went out to eat about, what, once or twice during the time
next day
she had her nose broken. She came into Red Lobster.
I came in there to talk to them, yes, I
and
did.
had a few meals, so socially she's okay, but to work she's not okay.
Was I supposed to sit
do you have children?
No.
Let me ask you this question. Somebody comes up to you behind you when you're walking down the street and knocks you down, fractures your cheekbone. You're able to go to work because you work with your mind, you work with your hand, you can go to work. You feel that that person who knocked you down is responsible to pay for the pain and suffering that you went through because you had this broken cheekbone, because it looked terrible for a long period of time, because you couldn't sleep on both sides of your face? Don't you feel as if they're responsible for that?
No, I do not.
I don't believe you.
I think accidents happen every single day.
This is not an accident.
It is an accident,
No,
ma'am.
madam, it's not an accident. An accident happens if he, by accident, pushes by her and she loses her balance and trips. That's an accident.
Okay.
Putting your hand under her dress or in her legs to flip her over because you've had a little bit too much to drink, what happens from that is not an accident. Certainly he didn't intend for her to hurt herself. If by that you mean it was an accident, well, then you are correct. I get no sense that Mr. Brown intended to hurt Ms. DaCosta, but he acted like an idiot. He had a little too much to drink, and he shouldn't have done that to another adult. You don't do that to another adult. Take them by surprise, stick your hand up their dress in an attempt to flip them over, and then say, I didn't mean to cause the damage that I did. That's not an accident. What he did was, he did it, he put his hand up her dress purposefully. He didn't intend for her to break her nose, but that was the result of what he did. That's not an accident. And he is responsible to pay for her pain, her suffering, her discomfort, as well as her lost wages, as well as all of her medical bills, which, as far as I can see, exceed the $5,000 limit, which would include some small token for pain and suffering. And the judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. Thank you.